up a fool. Make a smile and roll the skies and his book of rules. But you can't take a moon and give her back the sun. What kind of freedom is bought with a gun?
Hello, I'm Matthaeus. Welcome to Last Resort Repair Recreation, episode 21. I got a lot to talk about today, and we may be interrupted because we have a fellow truth warrior coming, and we're talking with them and giving them some interesting information that we have to pass along. So that's exciting. Okay, we're going to start off with a poem. This one's called Living Stardust. We are the living stardust that sparkles in the sky. We reflect our inner sparkle through our outer eyes. And we can travel anywhere we want as we shoot across the sky. Join us on the journey through the inner eye. Okay, I'm going to finish the article that I started last time about Religithexia from in5e.com by Greg Prescott. This is what he added onto the article. I'm going to just start from the beginning of that so it makes more sense. It says, try looking at religion from another perspective. What would your religious beliefs be if you incarnated into a part of the world where your current religion isn't predominant? What makes one religion any better than the other? Why do Christians believe the only way to heaven is through the salvation from Jesus Christ? Does the Christian God only love Christians? What happened to souls before Jesus? It seems like the origins of prejudice have come from religion. Here's another example. Imagine if a UFO landed in your backyard. Do you honestly think an ET will be carrying a Bible with him? Realizing that there are fictitious fairy tales about to be exposed, Pope Benedict XIV's astronomer stated the Catholic Church welcomes aliens. Really? On what day did the Christian God create aliens? In an article written on September 17, 2010, Senior Vatican astronomer Brother Guy Calsamango said he would welcome aliens into his church and would be happy to baptize them. It's pretty sad to see how the Vatican believes it can convert ETs to Christianity. What's even scarier is they have tried to convert the rest of the world through war and corruption. Ask yourself this. Why does the Vatican own many of the world's most powerful telescopes, including the one called acronym Lucifer? We have all heard about the false prophet line of crap. The Bible conveniently mentions false prophets 17 times. Here is one of them, 2 Peter 2 verse 1. But there are also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the sovereign Lord who brought them. With such an evil plan for subservience, control, and conformity, is it possible that the church realized they would eventually be exposed? The false prophet line of crap is the church's way of delaying the inevitable of being exposed for trapping humanity into a demented belief system filled with contradictions such as how many stalls and horsemen 2 Kings 4:26, and Solomon had 40,000 stalls of horses for his chariots and 12,000 horsemen, 2 chapter 9:25. And Solomon had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots and 12,000 horsemen whom he bestowed in the chariot cities and with the king at Jerusalem. Is God good to all or just a few? Psalms 145 verse 9, the Lord is good to all, and his tender mercies are over all his works. Jeremiah 13:14, and I will dash them one against another, even the fathers and the sons together, saith the Lord. I will not pity nor spare nor have mercy, but destroy them. War or peace. Exodus 15:3, Lord is a man of war, Lord is his name. Romans 15:33, now the God of peace be with you all. Amen. Is it good to be wise or not? Proverbs 4:7, wisdom is the principal thing, therefore get wisdom, and with all that getting, get understanding. Ecclesiastes 1:18, for in much wisdom is much grief, and he that increaseth knowledge will increase his sorrow. 1 Corinthians 1:19, for it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise, and will bring it to nothing the understanding of the prudent. There are many, many more contradictions in the Bible, but you get the picture. Conclusion: because the medical industry works hand in hand with the pharmaceutical industry, the DSM-4 will never recognize Religithexia as an official disorder, because there is no cure provided by Big Pharma. Religion keeps us divided as a global civilization, while continuing the unnecessary deaths of billions of people through inquisitions, crusades, eugenics, and an outdated belief system. How much longer will we remain subservient to a system that promotes killing one another? To this therapist, religion should be the DSM-4 definition of insanity, and in this writer's opinion, all Bibles should be 4 words long. Love everyone, respect everything. One last thought to ponder. The letter J wasn't invented until the mid-1500s. Do the math. If there was a Savior-like character in the Bible, it was impossible for his name to be Jesus. While it may be possible for him to be named Yahweh or Yeshua, then why didn't the Bible write it that way? What else have they twisted around? If King James was a Freemason, then what were his motives behind altering the Bible? How many people were named John or Jacob in the Middle East where Jesus supposedly originated? What are your thoughts? That's good articles and good points. And, you're trying to welcome the positive timeline, and I'm going to mention something, but first I had something to read. Okay, something I have a whole bunch of stuff here that I wrote a while ago, and that also pertains, and there's lots of information we have. So vast information, it can be very overwhelming. And hopefully I can say it in a way that people will understand and think about their options and reconsider what they might have been taught or told. Okay. I wrote this up. It's a little thing I wrote about. It's about the negative interpretation of Revelation to keep people in a negative state of mind. For positive changes to occur, wide scale, people need to change from a negative mindset to a positive mindset. Through deep meditation, people can learn who they were and what their purpose on earth is. We came here to bring forth positive changes on the positive timeline. The disaster in Revelation is from the catastrophic timeline that earth is no longer on. Positive mindset comes from higher consciousness. The highest vibration is love, and that is what earth and humanity need most. I believe that they're going to be trying to challenge the positive timeline. I'll mention that, what I said about that in a minute, because I have some dates and upcoming things that are going to be happening that I view as trying to mess with the positive timeline. And I could be wrong, but it's worth mentioning because I feel it's important. People need to look at it and realize that not be had and tricked. I think I read this poem last time, but I didn't check it off. I'm going to read it again because it's a good little poem. It's called Kingdom Come. You begin to create heaven on earth when you no longer wait for the sun, because that is the moment you'll realize that together we are Kingdom Come. Okay, and here's a good one too, called The Beginning of Heaven on Earth. The archons will not have their way, because heaven on earth begins today, where everyone has food to eat and shoes to wear upon their feet, where the pawns decide to end all war, and peace is finally free to soar. Okay. The whole what's going to help with the positive timeline and getting positive change on earth to happen is if we speak of it, and we have to speak of it and do everything that we can to speak it into existence, because we are the master manifestors, and we can manifest goodness if that's what we seek. and we can be there for each other, have each other's back. Here's a good poem about that. It's called Rising Above. The sound waves spoken here on earth travel through the omniverse, reflecting back to our universe and eventually reflecting heaven on earth. When we mirror our love beneath the sky, the multiverses hear our cry, returning to us the love we speak and helping us find the truth we seek. So let us speak in truth and love, so what's below can rise above. This is the key to heaven on earth. Don't let false prophets promise you things that you are able to do it on your own, because you are part of this transformation. You're here for a reason. You came on this timeline for a reason. Okay, now Charmella had one that she wanted to talk about. She's going to read one that pertains to this. Hello. I have one called Love Transcends Religion. The ISIS crisis I call bullshit. Trying to divide Christians and Muslims, those goddamn Jesuits. We must break free from religion to watch peace unfold. Make peace with your neighbor, forget what you're told. If we each can create our own path of love, we will all reunite in the heavens above. We're going to bring heaven home. We're going to bring home to earth, because that's what we came here to do. And that's what we're doing. And we're going to speak out. And we're not going to stop until the archons have been brought down and we have replaced it. Replaced the BS system of money and religion and all this bullshit and the government. Remember, like Mark says, there's no legitimate form of government. It's criminal cartels and the bullshit they have and the child abuse and everything that happens because of the rich pigs and all the trafficking crap. We're going to expose it. That's what we're here to do. And we're not going to stop until everybody can enjoy the positive timeline and everybody is free and happy and able to live the life that they want to live. Okay. Here's another one. It's called When We Let Go of Religion. We must let go of religion to transform the earth and witness the love light finally give birth, because nothing can conquer the power of love as we shine toward the light of the heavens above. Okay, let's see. Alright. Here's a poem about Yeshua that we wrote. It's called The Teacher. He came from the sky to open our eye, and now it's our turn to let go and fly. He always knew we could do this as we open our heart. Oh, hold on a sec. I read it wrong. Hold on. The Teacher. He came from the sky to open our eye, and now it's our turn to let go and fly. He always knew we could do this alone as we open our hearts to welcome him home. Now, this is something I wrote about too. It's called about Yeshua and his angel. So Archangel Michael does not want us to remember him as Yeshua HaMashiach, suffering and dying on the cross. He wants us to remember him as a great teacher. We must let go of religion so we can create the earth we always knew that we could. He wants us to remember his teaching of love and sincerity, and remember that we came to earth to create his kingdom of peace. Get out of mainstream religion and meditate to find your higher self. Your higher self can get you in touch with Archangel Michael. He is standing by to offer you encouragement and insight so humanity can uplift itself. Peace, love, and positive energy is what we have come to bring to earth. We are one. We are the revealed Son of Man, taught by the Son of I Am. I'm going to talk about. Okay, I have more the poems to read from with that, but I don't have time to. I'm going to run out of time. I really wanted to mention. Okay. Now, I believe that they're going to try to challenge the positive timeline with this Pope visit that's going to be happening. And there's a lot of interesting corresponding dates. So these are significant events, possible false flags, and archon attempts to thwart the positive timeline. And this is the first Jesuit Pope. Jesuits are a criminal organization. And, yeah, so this is bad news. But you know what? It's a positive timeline, and there's nothing they can do about it because we have together as one. We have the power to speak out and thwart their false flags if they had any planned. Because that's the worst nightmares that we're proven right. So remember that, and make sure that you tell wherever you know, and have your own show and the more we have, the better it is, and the more strength that we have together. Okay, this is events of September 22nd through 29th. September 22nd is Yom Kippur. September 23rd is the autumnal equinox. September 24th, the Pope speaks with Congress. September 25th, the Pope speaks at the UN Summit. Now, for the 26th and 27th, that's weekend, and there's nothing on those days, but you never know, something could happen on those days too. So they can all go in with their, you know how the dark occultists love dates and stuff to mess around with. September 28th, Sukkot is the Sukkot Feast of Tabernacles and the final 2014 to 15 Tetrad blood moon. And September 29th, the Pope visits the White House. Now, I think we were listening to a show from Alfred Weber, and he mentioned a false flag stage murder scenario of the Pope, and that show was cut off. I have also heard reports of the Pope with extraterrestrials. Be aware of false flags, false second coming, false light lords, false New Age BS, false invasions, and false teachings. Be vigilant and conform with the true light, to true love and light found within. They cannot take our spirit. They do not own our soul. We are free beings. So don't be afraid and get nervous or fall for anything that they may pull. And they may not pull it. I don't know. But I'm just saying that we feel it's important to mention things like this on our show. So because we're prepared and we're vigilant, and we try to do our best to get the truth and report the truth. And if we feel that something's makes somebody could be happening, we're going to report on it. Okay, let's see. Okay, here's what I'm going to close out with, called The Son of Man. We are the Son of Man from the Son of I Am. I am that I am, again and again. Together we make up one giant I Am, because we are the sons and daughters of man. Okay. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next week.